Hey everybody, Stafford here from Adventure Kiteboarding, showing you the new WMFG 1.0E, as in the electric kite wing SUP pump. So, comes in a box, weighs about 4 pounds in the box. It is size 8.5 inches by 6 3/4 by 3.75 inches. So I think this is as small as the updated ride engine, but it has a bigger battery. This one is a 5200 milliamp hour battery, and it goes up to 20 psi, so you can pump up paddle boards with this. All right off the top, we end up with a quick start guide. Plug in the hose, turn it on, and inflate. It is not waterproof, and it's not sandproof, so you can't dunk it in the water, and you can't just leave it in the sand getting full of beach sand. It does come with a complete manual. There is a waterproof bag though. So we have a waterproof bag that you can put the pump into. And, it's the roll top type closure. So again, you're not going to be able to float it in the ocean. But the idea here is that you have a bag that you can, cart it back and forth to and from the beach and not get the thing soaked and ruin it and then say, oh, I want a warranty claim. It is a 2-year warranty on manufacturing defects, so that is not going to cover abuse, obviously, if you let a wave crash on it, or you, again, suck it up with a bunch of sand and then want a warranty claim. All right, so here's the hose. It is a thread-on hose. Comes with a whole bunch of attachments. So we have the, this is sort of the soup-style inflate valve. That's... Next is the, well, who uses this one? This is like the old core style, the 9mm pointed kind, the Boston friction inflate. I don't even know what that is, but it must be some kind of paddleboard thing or something. And then this is the liquid force style mega thing. I think that whatever they call that. Fast mega inflate something, I can't remember. These all sort of nest together like little Russian nesting dolls. But it's interesting that they've done a really good job of making sure that you know what's what. So they're all numbered. So they have these tiny little numbers on them. And in the manual, it tells you which ones to use for which situations. So you can use the nozzles on everything from inflatable, camping pads and mats, to your kites, your wings, your paddle boards, everything. So the good thing is that uses this thread-on adapter. So it threads on like that, and that's for most of the high-pressure devices you need out there. And we also sell this extra option here as a separate piece, not part of this kit, which would allow you to do things like have a threaded on Boston valve, so you can thread onto your kites instead of just using the friction, sort of the friction nozzle, which can pop out and it doesn't always stay in. But some of these are real interesting because it's like use combination 1, 2, and 3, or 1 and 3, or 1 and 4, and that covers everything for you, though. So that'll get you all the nozzles you could possibly need for every device out there. And it comes with spares for your spacers. So, for example, I use the blue ring for duotones. There's replacement pieces. And so if you ever wear any out or lose any, you have some extras in there. Let's see what else we have in the bag. We've got a USB power cord, a USB charging block, USB-C on both ends, and some washers for your nozzles. It is a Ziploc style waterproof bag. So again, it keeps stuff organized, it keeps stuff clean, and it'll all fit in there. But the main event, of course, what you want to see is the pump itself. So here it is. This is, like I said, about 4 pounds. USB-C output on it, so you can charge your phone or whatever, as well as run the pump or charge the pump. Little elastic strap, carrying strap. And let's see what happens when we turn it on. All right, comes out of the box. Looks like 4 bars of charge. I'm not sure if that's full or not. I'll have to check and see if that's supposed to go up to 5. We can pull off our little protective coating. You can see that now we're at 0, and we can set the pressure up or down all the way up to 20 psi in half psi increments. And we can change it to bars. So I don't know, if you don't like psi, pounds per square inch, you can use millibars. All right, and then we will get this guy rolling here in a second so you can see how quickly it'll pump up or not pump up. So I'm going to attach it to a 12-meter kite right off the bat and see how this goes. So again, thread on, screw on, and then we'll use this end to use our nozzles. So we'll see how quickly we can inflate. We'll see how loud this thing is. We can deflate as well. But like I said, be careful not to leave this thing laying on the beach sucking in sand as you're trying to inflate. So, keep it clean. Don't abuse it. It is expensive, so you want to take care of it. It did come right out of the package with this amount of charge in it. So, and then I'll test it and see how long it takes to charge fully as well, and how many kites and boards we can pump up with this. Of course, you can. I'll do a wing too, just for the grins. We can see how quick it'll pump up a wing. All right, let's get to it. This is what the WMFG 1.0 ePump bag looks like. This is the waterproof bag. I just folded it over a couple of times and brought it out here so we could see what it looks like. And we're going to set this up so we can time how long it takes to pump up a wing, a kite, and a board. Okay, we're ready to pump up a Ozone Flux V2 Ultra X Alula 5-meter wing. So it's a 5-meter wing. We'll start with the single strut in the middle at 8 psi. And it flickers on camera, but your human eye can't see the flickering. So we're going to time this and see how long this will take to do this. And here we go. In low pressure mode, it's pretty quiet. The pump internally will switch over to high pressure mode after, I don't know, maybe 2 psi. We'll see what it does here. But obviously really quick. And it'll get louder as it goes into high pressure. All right, less than a minute. Okay, now to switch over to the leading edge, we go to 7 psi, one quick press, and away we go in low pressure mode. Again, much quieter. It'll get louder, so we switch over to high pressure. All right, just over a minute to get us to 7 psi in the leading edge. Okay, for this test, we've got a 12-meter Ocean Rodeo Roam Alula 3-strut kite that needs to go to 8 psi, and we have the adapters to pump it up. And let's see how long this takes and what it does to the battery. So we start the timer, quick press to start the pump. So it's a long press to turn on or off the pump, and it's a short press to start it or stop it. The pump will stop automatically when it gets to 8 psi, which is the recommended psi for this kite. Minute and 40 seconds or so is all it took to get us up to the recommended 8 psi. Alright, just because I messed up here, I originally pumped up this inflatable kayak to 7 psi using the WMFG 1.0 ePump, but didn't hit record. So I'm going to deflate it and start all over again. So I've switched the hose to the deflate side. I'm going to do a long press and a short press. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we are out of air. Short press. All right, and then we'll start by timing it and pumping it back up to 7 psi, which is the recommended number on this kayak. Okay, I've switched the hose to output now, so it will inflate and again, so low pressure is high volume and high pressure is low volume. So that low volume, high pressure setting takes longer. We see a ton more progress on the low pressure, high volume side. That's what we're looking at now. It's noticeably louder once it kicks into the high pressure, low volume setting. Does that automatically. $10-foot something inflatable kayak can hold up to 250-pound person. So it's big. It's bigger than a paddleboard for sure. More volume, more air, and because I'm doing this twice, this is the second time, we'll see exactly where the power gauge is on the pump and how the battery's doing. Remember, I did not charge it or anything additionally from what it came from the factory. This is the same, however much they charge it at the factory. I just pulled it out of the box just a few minutes ago, and we're pumping. So if you want to go straight to the beach, you should be okay, at least the first time. All right, 2 minutes and 15 seconds, 2 minutes and 20 seconds to 7 psi on this inflatable paddleboard, and that's exactly what the recommended setting is. So we're good, and we still have 2 bars now on the battery. 2 out of, it started with 4, and it's down to 2 after pumping up this kayak twice, this 12-meter 3-strut kite, and that 5-meter wing. So I'm sure we've got at least another couple of kites in us and a couple of wings in us before we'd need to charge this.